popcorn? What's a movie without popcorn?
What's a movie review without popcorn?
What's a movie review without popcorn?
Don't. This is how to. I can't say it. I can't say it.
This is dog popcorn time.
Yep.
Doggy popcorn break. Can't you wake popcorn? Come here. Doggy popcorn time. Okay, that's enough.
Yeah, you want more.
Okay, we're gonna go back to the movie review. We literally just came back from the movie theater, and we just saw The Invisible Man.
Yep.
Yeah.
The main protagonist, played by Elizabeth Moss. She played Cecilia.
Cecilia.
Huh? Cecilia, my bad.
We'll just call her C because that's what they do in the movie.
Yeah, they did, because I barely heard anyone's names besides Adrian. That was about it. No one else really mentioned. Maybe it was just me not fully paying attention, but I was just trying to figure everything out. Because I was trying to figure out who was the Invisible Man the whole time, which I was right, but then I'm not going to say I was probably right the whole time. They set it up to where it's just a whole lot of confusion because the antagonist, he pretty much set up his own death, and they have photos and everything, and it just seemed like, okay, this man is actually dead. The movie starts off very fast paced. She's trying to get out the house, sabotaging the cameras, turning them off, letting the dog go, having her own passport and everything, just ready to leave this man, even though it's a nice house, very beautiful house, nice location, and she just in a panic, in a hurry. She drugged him actually, so she can make sure that he stayed asleep. Mm-hmm.
That scene was intense when he comes running at the car.
It really was, because I was just trying to figure out what was going on. Because part of me was thinking, like, okay, maybe she's the bad person here, because why is she doing all this? But she's not, like, stealing things from him. I thought she was, like, stealing information or something and was just sleeping with him just to get something from him and then, I don't know, sell him out or do something. But that wouldn't fit the title of the movie. So,
well, let's start off by So what was this movie? So The Invisible Man it's a story that's been probably over 100 years at this point, but it is a modern take on it. Because the original story was like the Invisible Man is this mad scientist who finds a way to turn himself invisible, and he commits crimes and such. And it's normally always set in like late 1800s London. Or like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I don't know if you saw that.
That's the only actually time that I knew who the Invisible Man was. Honestly, I didn't even know who he was, to be honest with you.
So it's like yeah, it's an older story, like Sherlock Holmes. It's a classic story.
Yeah, that can be retold over and over
again,
like The Mummy, like Dracula.
Exactly, which is what Universal is doing. They did The Mummy with Tom Cruise. And now this is them doing The Invisible Man, bringing it back with a modern twist, elements. But that is one thing that the movie did great the whole time, is that the twist. There was a lot of confusion. Who's crazy? Is she crazy? Is he crazy? Is everybody crazy?
Well, no, I think you already figured it out, because it's the same type of beat when it comes to those type of deals, like especially when it's like the woman being the victim and then the man just manipulating everyone and everything around her, ruining her life just to get a chance to just obsess over her or whatever mm-hmm. It is, Jason, Michael Myers, things like that. Like, it's actually Michael Myers more, I would say, not Jason. Overall, I thought it was a very well put together movie. I think it's good as a standalone. As far as the whole cinematic universe type deal, I don't think they really matches, because more of those other things are mm-hmm. supernatural. This wasn't supernatural. He was an actual, like,
scientist.
And he actually made a suit. So it was a suit the whole time.
I think it looked pretty cool.
No, I thought it looked really cool. I thought that was very well, because you can see how it became invisible. It was just like cameras that, like Spider-Man, remember? Yeah. Like the little droids, like it just shows a reflection of what it's looking at, I mm-hmm. guess. So I thought that was pretty cool.
And this movie was pretty low budget, but it was $7 million, which is considerably less than most big box office movies.
But no, I think they're most definitely going to make some good money off of this movie.
I think so too. So, I mean, when I first saw the trailer, I was like, I don't know what they're going to do with it. I was actually not too excited about it.
Honestly, I didn't even watch the trailer. Didn't even know anything about this movie, so you invited me.
You did?
Because like I said, like I don't only Invisible Man that I know of is the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. So that one, some people don't like it. I like it.
I love that movie.
Yeah, I love that movie. Obviously, it's pretty much her story. So it's mostly through her point of view and everything like that. Because you really don't know that much about the man. Adrian, I believe. Yeah, Adrian is his name. Yeah, so you really don't know much about him, but throughout, just little pieces, little clues, and things like that. Because you don't even know if it's him that's killing the people. To be quite honest with you, because like I said, like he killed himself in the movie. So, yeah. So like, but it turns out he was just this grand manipulator. And even in the end of the movie, you don't even know for sure because he doesn't even admit. Because normally the killers always admit why, or you figure out, yes, they are the killer. Because
I like that. I'm happy they didn't just. He didn't need to say it when he said surprise. Again, I was like, piece of shit.
Anyone can say surprise.
But
her Uber driver could have turned around, surprise, and then he could have had the suit. I mean, I get it; it doesn't really quite match up, but I feel like it was a little shortchanged that he didn't even say it. All he's trying to do is ruin her life to where she has no choice but to come back to him, and even the plot even thickens even more because it turns out that she's even pregnant.
This movie was great at building suspense.
Yeah,
the whole time.
Yeah, because you never. I mean, because he could be anywhere. He could be watching it. He was watching. I was wondering when he was going to take a bathroom break because there's no way he could just be stalking her 24/7.
He thought about it. Built into the suit.
No,
it's got built-in diapers. You can't prove that it doesn't have built-in diapers.
Yeah, well, okay, but the smell will still be there. So even when he's not there,
Sealed.
You can't see it.
It's got a nice seal.
I don't believe that for a second.
Just
a guard.
He's just fermenting.
No, the
like
the
fine
guards, the
wine.
doctors, all these people around him, they smell something. There's no way. So he has to take that off at some point.
But one of my favorite things that they do in the movie, they do it all the time, is that a character will be doing something and then it'll just pan over to where they're looking, just to nothing.
Yeah,
there's just an empty doorway.
That builds up the suspense.
Oh my god!
Because the whole time I was just analyzing the whole thing. I'm like, okay, so you don't show shots of anything as far as a wide view or anything, unless they want you to notice something. So even in one of the first scenes, she was just like shopping or whatever. Not shopping, but she was in her room and she was just putting up clothes that she bought or whatever. And it just panned over to the window. And it showed just her little rack there and her clothes on the side. And I'm like, okay, she's not our main focus right now. It has to be someone. But I don't believe it was him inside the house. I just believe that it was trying to put that in our mind. Invisible Man is around. You just need to, like, I guess they're anticipating when he's going to come around. And when was the first time he actually kind of like showed her that
I think the
there?
pan. He cranks up the heat.
Well, she didn't know about that.
She didn't know that.
That could easily become an accident. I think it was
the phone.
No, actually, no. It was way past that because remember she freaked out about him being in the room with her when she was sleeping. I think.
Oh, the blanket.
Yeah, so she was sleeping with the officer's daughter. They were just sleeping in the same bed because she was too paranoid. She couldn't go outside. She was just freaking out because this man has done so much to her mentally and controlled everything, every single thing in her life. Period. The way she dressed, the way she talked, the way she acted, or even her thoughts. And he would always tell her this was coming from her character. She would always tell her that no matter where you go, if you try to leave, I will find you. I will hunt you down. I was like, and he was that type of dude to her. And now we didn't see any of that stuff before. We never got that impression. But
it's insinuated.
It's insinuated.
Just judging by how she's acting, you know she's been through a lot.
and she's not making it up. But that's the thing. A lot of them don't know the character. They don't know Adrian, so they can't necessarily say, "All right, that's true." But she wouldn't have left if it was it was all peaches and cream. So, because she could be making this whole thing up in her head the whole time. She can just be like, "Oh, it's really bad here," and whatever, and just try to leave. But towards the end, after everything is said and done, because he ends up manipulating his brother too, and I thought that his brother was an innocent bystander of all this. But it turns out he's even a puppet of his brother. But we still can't even fully. I saw it because I was thinking that he was the killer, which technically he was the Invisible Man. Which this thing is such like a maze in a way, because it's still Adrian still did not admit to him being the Invisible Man. He barely gave a hint because he said surprise to her. He said it through a text message, through his old phone or whatever.
And into her ear while she was in the cell.
But that could have easily been her brother. Because remember, her brother was talking, and we cannot...
Not her brother, his brother.
His brother, I'm sorry. His brother. We cannot tell the difference between the voice. At least I couldn't. So, it's still kind of a little bit of a mindfuck, but...
The whole movie kind of is. How about the scene, the dinner scene with her sister?
Okay, yeah, that was surprising, and it pissed me off, because I'm like, dude, there's no coming back from this, at least for her sake, because she's sitting there trying to have dinner, because the whole setup, she ends up sending her sister an email, but it wasn't her, it was Adrian or her brother, or his brother, excuse me again, sending her an email saying, "I wish you were dead, you're such a leech," or whatever, and it pretty much broke them two apart, because pretty much she never really had that much of a good relationship with her sister, because she was always either controlled or very standoffish. We still don't fully know. Maybe she's the monster in this whole thing, but no, I'm just saying, because she killed... No, but this is the thing. If they were to do another one, and it turns out that movie previously, and she set all this shit up in a way...
I mean, I guess technically
they could go down that, because she ends up killing him, slicing his throat out. Now, no one's saying that, like, oh yeah, she manipulate her brother or Adrian's brother into doing all this stuff. Now that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense at all. So, and why would she take herself through all that unless she's just that much of a psycho?
No, she wouldn't have.
Exactly. It really wouldn't make all that much sense.
She only did she only killed him because she was pushed to.
That makes sense. Because honestly, anyone would want revenge for their sibling, especially dying the way she did. So
yeah.
Back on track. So they were sitting there having dinner, and her sister sits down, just very standoffish, arms folded and things like that. And she's trying to say, "I love you," trying to talk to her sister and try to, I guess, get her trust back. Because she already told her that she didn't send the email, but she wasn't buying it. She just closed her out. And she just felt like she was alone, because every single thing that she did, the Invisible Man was there to pretty much cut all ties and make everyone think that she's crazy or she's unstable, to where they can't be around her, they can't trust her, and things like that. So to where she had her breaking point multiple times. And I don't know exactly what got her to develop the strength again, but I think it was because of her sister's deaths, because they were sitting there and a knife was just floating right next to her head and slit her sister's throat right in front of her.
I was in the theater like,
the knife went right into her hand.
Oh man, that was fucking crazy.
Yeah, and that's a bad theory that I came up with. And the more and more I think about it, who would even put themselves through all that just to, like, you're losing, right?
Yeah.
You're losing.
Yeah. Oh,
that wouldn't make sense.
No.
At all. I mean,
I'm glad you've come full circle and
back to reality.
Yeah.
See, I almost lost it too. They were manipulating my mind in that movie, because I'm still trying to figure it the fuck out. But
no, but I like it because of that.
Maybe it was just that simple of a movie. Maybe it was just that simple. He was the killer. He was the manipulator. Or maybe he wasn't, and it was his brother the whole time, and she just wanted to kill him because all the shit that she went
It's not just because she wanted to kill him. I mean, her sister is dead, and
that too. But because it really don't show that much evidence toward him, it still could be his brother.
It could be.
And
Yeah.
she, out of all the stuff that she experienced with him, she can still make her mind up to believe, no, it's you. You've done all this. You've always wanted control over me. And this what's so weird is her brother can know about all the stuff that they go through and just use that to his benefit. But it still didn't make sense. Because why wouldn't his brother just kill him? Because he already committed suicide. There's so much stuff that's just going inside this movie, and I feel like it was a little bit on a... They knew how to make it full circle, but then there's just still questions, and... Because typically the antagonist always says their plot. Oh, I'm going to do this to you, Austin Powers, or whatever. Like, whatever they're doing, you typically figure it out. You know, not everyone talks, but... You know, he was more conniving and very intelligent. But I actually, Sean, you actually brought up a valid point in the car. Because certain relationships, the significant other, or male or female, would always not take responsibility for the things that they've done wrong.
Yes.
So if they're very good at manipulating people, they always make it seem like it's always your fault. You're always acting crazy. You're always being irrational. You're always overreacting, things like that. I'm perfect and you're not, in a way. And
that's Adrian's character. He thought he could do no wrong.
But we didn't get enough, I feel like, of screen time for him to, I guess, get a full feel of that, I feel like. Now, towards the end, he did say that, you know, surprise, which, honestly, I don't think her brother would have, or his brother would, I keep saying that, his brother would have knew about the whole surprise thing. Mm-hmm. So,
so overall, what would you give it? 1 to 10.
Okay, so it was shot very well. The pacing was very good. It was fast paced, so it got you just thinking and rushing, trying to figure everything out. So I like that about it.
And it wasn't just a cookie cutter story. It wasn't like bland. And I didn't. The thing I hate the most is if I'm watching a movie and I figure it out right away.
I try to do that so good. I try that.
I try with every movie, but this movie didn't get it. Not right away.
It didn't. I was close.
You were close. I was close. I didn't get it.
I will say I got it, but you know that's not important. But I'm not always trying to be right. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I think overall, probably a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give it, as a standalone, I give it a 7, maybe a 7.5.
Okay.
It still messed me up a little bit because I'm still trying to just figure out. I'm so used to the antagonist saying something. So as is, I'll give it a 7.5. I thought that was good.
I think I'll give it an 8. 8.5, somewhere in there. 8.
That's pretty high.
I think it was a good movie. I think the writing was really good. It was shot really well. It was very suspenseful.
I feel like we're not looking at any real flaws with it though, maybe it really doesn't have that many.
I don't think it.
Maybe I'm just overthinking it. I think that could be it.
Yeah, I think you might just be overthinking it.
I guess I'm wrong.
But that's good when a movie
gets you to think.
You to think. It makes you question a lot, and it's not just, oh, I figured it out.
Yeah.
You're still thinking about it.
I know.
Which is good. It's great when a movie makes you think.
Even though the answer is right in front of me, I just can't write crap by it.
No, I will say, if they do a sequel...
Did we talk about the ending, though? What she did?
Let's kill them?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then walks away with the suit.
Okay.
Which is kind of why it makes you think there might be a sequel. But...
Because what is she going to do with the suit?
Yeah, what is she going to do with the suit?
Why does she need it? And she had plenty of evidence against Adrian, or at least his brother, because one, he verbally said these things. And in the hallway, he was killing and beating the shit out of all these... Excuse my language. I don't know if you can say that. You need to bleep that out or something. He was just beating the crap out of all these security guards while she ended up actually baiting him because she was trying to slit her wrist because it comes out that she was pregnant. And the man was very obsessed with getting her pregnant and having a family. Mm-hmm. That's the type of control he wanted over her and have control over that kid. She kept taking birth control the whole time, trying to not have a kid. But then it turns out he
He
knew about
knew.
that too, and just switched the pills with something else. So she ended up becoming pregnant. And once that information got to him, obviously told his brother or whatever, and they. Well, actually, we're still going on about the fucking plot because that'd take a minute to explain more. But
I don't think we need to explain it anymore.
okay,
Just go on.
okay.
If there was a sequel, like, that's one of my problems. Is I hope there's not a sequel.
Well, they didn't have any.
I hope it's just a one.
Yeah, I think they should just leave it as is because where else would they go with it unless she was part of that? But it doesn't make sense why she put herself through that. So it doesn't. It really doesn't. Now, if she became so broken because of Adrian, and she ended up becoming like him.
I don't think she'd become like him. I don't think she'd become a
Well,
villain.
she did lose her sister. She pretty much lost everyone around her except for
She's
the
still got-
officer.
Yeah.
And
She's got something to live
his
for. I don't
daughter.
think she'd become a villain. But I can't imagine
I
a
don't see it
movie
going
where
down
she's
there.
like fighting crime.
No, nothing like that. Especially not in that universe. It wouldn't make sense. I don't know. This is a good movie for what it is.
Yeah, it was a good movie for what it was.
So don't
We'll see what
overthink
happens.
it. Don't overthink it. If you do, just I guess that's on
Comment down below.
I don't comment down.
Comment down below.
Oh man.
Let us know. Do
Yeah.
you think there'll be a sequel? Stay tuned. Subscribe. And we'll talk about it. Peace.
Okay. See you guys later.